Hello, beloveds. This is your love and advice coach, Jessica, here today to talk to you about dating do's and don'ts. Yes, all my single friends, today's video is for you. Let's just get right into it. Here's my first do. Guys, it is so important that you are clear on what it is that you want from the dating process. If you're not clear on your goals and your intentions, then you'll mess around and deal with somebody that you really don't belong with. You have to commit to your goals. You have to think about what it is that you want, what outcomes you're looking for, and think about long term as well. You want to be really careful about compromising the things that are important to you too early on in the dating process. All right, do number 2, let the other person speak freely. Please, guys, I know that it's really important to you that you get out what it is that you need to say and that you make your agenda known to the other person, but just know that this is kind of like an interview process. And so if you are the one that's always driving the conversation, it's going to be really difficult for you to gauge who the person is that you're talking to because you're always talking. And even if it's something that sounds offensive, that's more information for you. You need to know how this person thinks. You need to know what this person likes. You need to know what snaps this person's buttons. And how are you going to figure that out if you're the one that's always talking? So be careful not to overshare and be careful not to dominate the conversation to the degree that you don't really get to learn who it is that you're talking to. Do number 3, relax. You cannot rush a healthy relationship. You have to go through all that it requires in order for you to come out on the other side well-footed as a unit. So just because you've dated 4 million guys and all of them were horrible, been there and done that with everybody else, that is going to apply here. It doesn't. You have to go through all of the motions with each person and in each individual relationship. So don't let the time that you've spent in the situation be something that changes how you approach the situation. Also, I need you to relax because it might not work out, and that's okay. Don't try to fit a round peg into a square hole because you just like one aspect of this person, or because you just don't want to be dating any longer and you're ready to be in a relationship. It's okay if things don't work out. That does not make you a bad person. That doesn't make the other person a bad person. It just means that you two together don't necessarily fit well, and it's time to move on. Do number 4. Hey guys, I need you to know when the date is over, and I need you to also know how to exit said date gracefully. Maybe you need to have a contingency plan with a friend, something that can get you out of the situation. Always have some kind of backup plan in case you feel unsafe or in case the date is going in a direction that makes you uncomfortable. I'm just being real. There are some people who don't feel comfortable saying, I don't want to be out with you anymore. And so those people need an alternative. There are folks who feel great about saying, hey, I don't like you. I'm calling my friend. I'm done. But a lot of people just don't feel comfortable saying that. So I think that it's important that you have some kind of contingency plan for when you've decided that the date is over. If you get to that point, that you can exit safely. Do number 5. Let him pursue you. I'm going to fast forward to, say, 5 years from now, where we have women that are complaining about this no good dude that doesn't want to do anything for her, and he expects her to do everything. Well, if you think about how the dating process started and was maintained, that might be a window into why you aren't getting what it is that you want. So you all are lucky because you haven't gotten to the relationship portion yet, and you're seeing this advice early on. Make sure you set the precedent so that he is well aware that you are a prize to be won. You can't teach that lesson after you've already given away all the milk, if you know what I mean. Use discretion about what it is that you give to this person because you are a prize. Don't just throw yourself out there, ladies. Let him earn those aspects of you that are so special. Love yourself first. That is dating. Do number 6. Love yourself. If you don't love yourself, dating don't number 1 is don't date. If you don't know who you are and you don't love who you are, don't think that somebody else is going to be able to do that thing for you. They can't. They can't. And at least not in a sufficient way. They might be able to hold a line for a minute, you know, the compliments, the flowers, but those things are not going to last forever. And whatever relationship you find yourself in, if you don't love who you are and you don't know who you are, your relationship will not work. Be careful, ladies, to take your time to do your personal work before you start dating in the first place. Dating don't. Number 2, don't overdo your hair or your makeup. This is coming from somebody who clearly likes pizzazz. I'm into hair, I'm into makeup. I'm not telling you to, you know, turn into a cast member of 21 Kids and Counting. I'm just saying that we don't need to try as hard as we are trying. They will do whatever it is that we want them to do once we acknowledge our own beauty and our own power. So I'm gonna need y'all to show up to these dates as yourself and not send the representative. Do your hair, be cute now, come on, get snatched. I'm not hating on the cuteness. Do that, do all of that. But it needs to be something that's somewhat similar to who you actually look like. Ladies, I'm not hating on the makeup, I'm not hating on the hair, I'm not hating on the fashion, but I'm asking that you approach these dates in a more naturalistic way so that the relationship can flourish. Always be yourself, but let's err on the side of caution when we're starting these relationships so that people can see us for who we really are. Okay, I don't even know what number we on. Do not focus on negative conversation, because we live in a society that is so now, and we're inundated with things. We can't just sit in silence. We can't just, you know, relax and not have something to look at or something to do with our hands and our feet and our eyes. And so when we get on these dates and it's just you and the other person, and you know, you're trying to like scroll your phone and try not to be awkward, it's okay. That's a part of dating. Like, let that be what it is. There's a special place set aside for that. I'm asking that you don't fill that space, that empty, quiet space, with negative conversation, negative energy. Like you talking about how much you hate your job and your co-workers, or you talking about how horrible your baby daddy is, or that bunion that just won't go away. Like, I don't know what it is that you want to talk about so that you feel less uncomfortable, but I need you, don't do that, okay? Don't do that. In the dating process, there is a space for that awkward feeling that both of you will have. And I think that it's important that both of you see each other navigate that space. It's okay. Again, relax. Negativity makes people uncomfortable. And since that person doesn't really know you, they can't really solve your problems. And ladies, in my book, Relationship Rocket Science, I talk about how men automatically take ownership of other people's problems. Like, that's what they do. They solve problems. You know, there's time enough to talk about the things that we hate. Let's just kind of focus on who you are as a person. You are not your job. You are not your baby daddy nor that situation. Let's talk about the things that you love to do. What are your hobbies? Who are you? I was talking to a client of mine the other day who basically was saying that he didn't want to date a young lady that he really liked because she made her entire existence about him. He knew that she didn't have any hobby. He knew that she would drop her family or her friends or her plans just like that. He knew that she would leave work if he just said the word. I'm letting you know, girls, that it is not as cute as you think it is to be at somebody's beck and call and to like be a shapeshifter. Be who you are, be clear on who you are, and be able to articulate that so that people, without you even saying a word, can have an experience when they meet you. Yes, that is good. Hold on, I'm about to take y'all to church. Go and get the little pencils. You should have some kind of 5-point strategy. Like when somebody meets you, you should be able to spout off kind of who you are in a short period of time. I'll give you an example. My name is Jessica. What do I love? Well, my first love is absolutely dancing, but seeing as how I'm older now, that's not so easy on my body and my schedule doesn't allow for that. I have just learned that I'm just a creative person. As long as I'm making something or doing something in the arts, I am a happy camper. Have you noticed that I have not yet mentioned the 3 children that I raised, nor the husband that I have? nor the job that I do. I am talking about me. Know who you are. Know who you are, because you have to convey that to the other person in order for them to decide whether or not they want to continue to engage with you. And finally, do challenge the other person, but don't argue. Everybody is entitled to how they feel, and at this stage of the game, your job is not to convince anybody of anything. Your job is to allow them to be exactly who they are, and then for you to decide whether or not this is something that you want. It absolutely is a good thing to show your intelligence. However, it can be a pretty obnoxious character trait to be somebody who always corrects other people or tries to prove other people wrong. That's pretty irritating. You don't want to start on that foot where this person is trying to say to you who they are via whatever it is that they believe, and then you're kind of, shooting at them. I'm not saying, just sit there and be a bump on the log. Say something like, what makes you say that? Ask them to explain themselves further. What about this perspective? I hear what you're saying, but what about this side of the argument? Playing devil's advocate slightly. Don't overdo it, because it is good to watch a man be challenged. Some people are not good when opposition makes its appearance and they kind of fall apart. So it's good for you to challenge the other person, but not take on the role of corrector or principal here. That's not your job. Your job is to sit there, is to listen, is to be yourself, is to give of yourself, and to just let the space be what it is and not to try to manipulate it in any form or fashion. Ladies and gentlemen, this advice is only a smidge of what I got. And if you want to have any of your questions answered, you can get me at rocketsciencerelationships@gmail.com. You join my growing community on Facebook, and I'm at Relationship Rocket Science, and the same for Instagram, Relationship Rocket Science. Guys, I'm looking forward to communicating with you. Make sure you like, you comment, and you subscribe to this channel so you can get all these great updates. Share with your friends, and I'll see you next time, guys. Love you. Bye-bye.